Clothos's trial. So I tried to do this video a couple times, starting with when it first came out, and basically I did like a whole introduction to Clothos's trial. I read all the stuff about it, you know, how it works, stuff like that. And then I thought it'd be cool, you know, then tag on an attempted run afterwards, and it just led me to be annoyed. As the games went on, I got more and more annoyed with all the shit, all the systems, all the lack of thought put into it. And it just basically turned, it wasn't like super major rage or anything, but I was mad and annoyed with the shit I was dealing with in those games. You can see here, I've only done 4 runs. But yeah, like it was rough. I don't remember what happened here. Oh, I think this was a throw. Yeah, I think I lost my first one. So I think I've actually only done 3 runs. This one, I forget what happened. The first run went fucking terribly, or the first game went terribly, and I just said fuck it and started over because I wanted to try and go flawless. This was my very first one. Started off okay, then went to shit. This one we started off pretty bad, and then we won just all of our games. And then this was my most recent attempt. Started off great, and then just ran into some shit. So yeah, I was basically gonna do a first look at Clothos's trial type video, but the 2 times I tried, yeah, it was probably like my first one, and then I think this was the second attempt. So I started off great, I was having a great old time, and then it just went downhill into just all the issues I have with this game. So yeah, I basically just want to go over, instead of doing an actual like first look at the game mode, I want to go over basically all the issues I personally have with the game. So obviously these are going to be personal opinions, but that said, I feel like this is supposed to be a highly competitive game mode, and I feel like it just wasn't thought about. There's so many things that weren't thought about here that I feel either show that the devs don't play the game themselves, don't play competitive games themselves, or are just like, I don't know. I don't know what else. It's just, yeah. I don't know. There's just some real strange stuff here. So we'll start out first, and this is what I think is the most, not the most frustrating. These aren't going to be in any specific order, but this is something that definitely rubs me the wrong way. Now, I'm all about finding inspiration in other games and stuff, right? Obviously, this is very heavily inspired by Dark and Darker. Let's be completely fair. This isn't exactly an original game, right? So with Clothos's trial, it's pretty much Destiny's, I don't know if it was in Destiny 1. I never played Destiny 1, but Destiny 2's Trials of Osiris. Same thing. 3v3s. You're playing best of games. And you're trying to get to 7 wins, flawless, and you have 3 chances to do that. But to get like the big rewards, you have to go flawless and not lose a single one of those 7 games, right? So like the base of this game mode is just straight up Trials of Osiris. So anybody that's played Destiny will be familiar with it. And I'm pretty sure, I haven't gotten flawless, so I don't know, but I'm pretty sure there's even a lighthouse where once you go flawless, you go to the tower. In my reaction video, we see it. There's a big door that opens up and everything. I have a feeling it's going to be basically the lighthouse, but medieval setting. So the thing that bothers me about that, and I'm fine with them taking inspiration from that and kind of doing their own little twist on it. The problem is they've taken that idea and then just not really done much to make it better, make it their own, take all the competitive stuff into consideration. And that's what bugs me. All the time they say by not having to come up with the actual idea themselves could have been put into improving it and making sure the competitive elements are better. Because I have a lot of issues with Destiny's PvP in general. And funnily, considering one's a shooter, this is not my biggest issues with Destiny's PvP is basically the ability spam / low skill of those game modes in Destiny. And it kind of ends up being the same here with the ridiculous, like the tree spam from druids and the cryo, whatever the hell. I don't play that shitty class, so I don't know. The big storm slow circle. It just turns into and then all the lightning spam. We're gonna get into that because oh my god. But yeah, the low skill elements are what trigger the ever loving shit out of me with this game mode. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out there, that it's just really disappointing to see them basically take that idea and not really do much beyond that. So let's get, again, this is not going to be any specific order, but it's just the order I wrote them down on my little sheet here. But yeah, the matchmaking, there are some serious issues here, very serious issues. The fact that I, as a solo, can queue up and go against a full 3 stack should not be a thing here for a number of reasons. Number one, regardless of the stuff that's missing, which we'll get into, a 3 stack of people are more likely to be more communicative. They're going to be more coordinated. They've probably played together before, stuff like that. Whereas myself as a solo, whether I'm getting paired up with another 2 solos or a duo or whatever, they might not feel like communicating or whatever. There should be 2 separate queues, a trios queue and then a duo solos queue. It kind of has to be a duo solos queue just because the number. You can't have a solo duo and trio queue, because who are you going to get for the duos to fill that one other spot, right? So you kind of have to have the duo solo queue. But at least that way, if you have the duo solo queue, you might have a duo and a solo, or 3 solos or whatever, right? It's going to be a little more fair and a little more balanced in terms of communication. Now, what makes it even worse is the fact that we don't have communication options. As far as I know, the in-game chat, because you're not technically in a party, I guess there's no VoIP. I don't know, but I haven't been able to communicate with teammates aside from the pings, which is pathetic when you're going up against a Discord group, right? That's the other thing too. A 3 stack that's in Discord, they probably have all their comps picked out. They know exactly like what to put together in terms of how they want to play. Like they might want a cryo and a druid and a DK or something like that, right? They're gonna have better composition between all of them. They can kind of sit down and go over it to begin with, right? Whereas a duo or a bunch of solos, there's going to be no coordination there. They might not work together at all. So yeah, and then again, just the lack of being able to communicate with your teammates. You now have this Discord group that's completely in sync. They might not be very good at it or whatever, but still, it's going to be a huge advantage versus a team that can ping a little bit. Like I can ping that there's danger, but that's not specific. If I'm a DK, which I am, I might want to say, hey, I'm gonna go for a pull right off the start. Let's jump on that person if I get a pull. I don't have that option. I can ping where I'm going, but there's no depth beyond that, and that is a huge disadvantage against a 3-stack that can completely communicate. And I don't have proof to show you guys, but I went up against a 3-stack of TTVs. We almost beat them, but they had full communication and we didn't. I was by myself. I don't know what my other 2 teammates were, but I basically had to do most of the work in that game. And I had no communication, and we're going up against this team that's giving each other full information, like, oh, he's low, he's over here, all that stuff. There needs to be separate queues. That's just, to me, that's just common sense. So that's one of my first big issues with the game mode right now. And it just like brings up all these other issues because of it. It makes everything so much worse, not having communication. To me, as somebody that's played a lot of competitive games over the years, honestly, I think communication is, even in real life, I've played tournament paintball for probably 20 plus years now. And all the gun skills, all the awareness, the game awareness, all of that stuff is good. But in the end, in a team game, communication is like paramount. You can be a terrible gunfighter, you can be a terrible whatever, but if you communicate and give that information to your teammates so they can capitalize on it, it's huge. So not having that communication is a big issue here. Now, kind of on the same vein with matchmaking, there seems to be no real consideration in terms of gear. And I honestly don't have a solution for this, without like restricting people from playing, and that's not necessarily good. And I don't honestly know how you'd restrict people from playing, but there seems to be no consideration taken into account for gear. So before Clothos' trial came out, I put together gear sets. I did videos on those, on the builds I was running for both my DK and my fighter. So I put together what I thought was the best set for me. Right now, it's not like perfectly min-max. There's some things like shadow damage is okay. I'm trying to find an example here. 16 shield when using an active skill. Another affix there might be better. That's probably pretty irrelevant for me, but either way, the main stuff, all my passives, my set stuff, I put together a build before going in to be as competitive as I could be, right? In my games that I've had, I get a lot of people that come in naked or with nothing, and then again, this is going to lead into some other issues too. The other team is just like fully decked, right? They've got everything. They've got all their set bonuses. They've got everything. And there's no balance. It's not like, again, I don't know how to solve this. I don't know if you do it based on initial gear score or something like that. And just try and balance it out a bit, you know? But yeah. There's definitely a big discrepancy there. Now, I've been what's the word? I don't want to say arguing, but there's been a lot of people talking about how much gear matters, and if you're geared, you can't make up for it with skill and stuff like that. You can't overcome gear with skill, which in the lower tiers from grays up to blues aren't too bad. But like in that early to mid to somewhat end game, I don't think gear is that big of a deal. As long as you're building right, like you could be in all greens against somebody in all blues, but if you've built those greens right, you have all your passives that you want, and you're just a better player, you can overcome like somebody in all blues. I've done it before. doing my 0 to hero runs, usually I'm the person with less gear in my fights. However, in this game mode where everybody is like min-maxing and getting all their perfect sets together, because you can risk it, right? You're not going to lose it, so you can bring the best of the best. When you run into teams, like I personally have 3 set bonuses active. That's pretty big when you're going up against somebody that doesn't have any. And those people that come in with lower gear scores or just less gear, right? They do get those free epics. But you're probably not going to be, you'd be lucky to even put one set bonus together with that random pile of shit they throw in your inventory. So again, there doesn't seem to be any balance there. So it's felt like I've got a lot of teams where, because I'm a solo, I have those 2 spots to fill, right? There's been a very wide range of what I get there. And that can be tough in a competitive 3v3 game. So again, I don't have a perfect solution for it, but I feel like there needs to be something taken into account. And again, going up against 3 stacks and stuff, you feel it even more with how unbalanced it becomes. I guess I'll kind of touch on something that sort of touches on that same topic too, but the timers. When you first come into the game, there's a timer counting down before it starts, which obviously there needs to be. You don't want people sitting around and waiting. But it feels like this is a game mode where you're supposed to come in prepared and ready to go because the timers are so quick. And because of that, it feels like a lot of times I'll have teammates that are just like AFK. I don't know, they went to take a piss, get a drink, whatever, which is fine. But then they're still trying to swap on all their gear and the round has started. And then we're sitting in spawn waiting for them to put their stuff on. And by then we got fucking Jimmy DK and his 2 DK, or not DKs, it's Cryos. Cryos the issue, huge issue. I've got Jimmy Cryo and his 2 Cryo buddies rushing our spawn, spamming the stupid slow storm ice bullshit, and then lightning everywhere in our spawn while we're waiting for our random to put his gear on. And then the subsequent rounds, the timer's super short as well. So to have to like quickly pick up, okay, I want a potion, I want a stack of bandages, and then I want to grab the incendiary or the thunderclap flask or whatever. By the time I do all that, get to a gate, like one of the fog block gates to go into the arena, and like pre-potion, the game's already started. So I have to be like, I'm a sweaty tryhard. So I'm like ready to go every time. But yeah, like how quickly you have to be ready in those subsequent rounds. Even for me, I don't want to say it's stressful, but it's like, if I'm like, I don't know, paying attention to my dog or chat or something like that. Sometimes I don't even have time to drink my potion and be like ready to go. It's pretty quick. I think they could, like, I understand what they're going for with the limited supplies, right? I think there's only 1 incendiary between your whole team and 1 thunderclap. And I think that's fine. There's already enough bullshit spam. We don't need like 3 people throwing incendiaries and stuff everywhere. But it would be nice if maybe they did something like everybody starts the round with a potion or a bandage, or because when you come in with your own potions, flasks, whatever, they get stripped. It would be nice if like you had a potion stack and a bandage stack. You could come in with that and it would stay. But then I don't know. Then there's the stuff on the tables. How do you deal with that? I don't know. Something would be nice. I don't know. It's just like they feel. I don't want to increase the timer, right? Because I don't like waiting around either. But having to grab all that shit off the table is kind of a pain in the ass. It would be nice if they found a way to kind of get around that. Levers. Oh my god, the levers. I am very fortunate. I've had issues with teammates, but usually we're doing well enough that we're not like getting completely shit on. And I don't think I've had any levers on my side yet, but I have seen a number of levers in these games. Now I'm not a piece of shit crying baby that leaves games because I'm losing. I like to stick it out till the end and still try and win and not give up. I'm not a quitting little bitch. So I don't know if there's an actual lever penalty, but there needs to be. That shit in gaming is like, it needs to. Now, obviously there's circumstances, your internet goes out or your power goes out or whatever, that could happen. But I don't know. I don't know on the coding side of things if you can tell if it was a genuine disconnect or not. But either way, I think there needs to be a lever penalty. And if it keeps happening, obviously like once or twice, it could have been, again, your power going out, your internet going out, whatever. But if it starts happening, that penalty builds up more and more. And again, this should be such a basic thing for a competitive game mode that these developers should have thought of. And I don't know. I could be mistaken, but I haven't heard of any. I'm not going to test it. I'm not going to be a piece of shit and leave my team. Because again, I'm also a sweaty tryhard. I want to win. I'm not there to rage quit because I don't get my way, right? So I don't actually know if there is a lever penalty, but I have a feeling there probably isn't, given how little they've thought about everything else. I have a feeling there's not a lever penalty, and there absolutely needs to be. Now let's get into one of the biggest issues. Is the meta, right? There's already issues in the adventure mode. Is that what it's called? Like going into the castle and Sinner's End and stuff like that. There's already some like pretty shitty metas and balance issues to begin with. And here it becomes even more apparent. For that, I'll start out with this part. I personally feel like there should be a restriction on classes. You should only be allowed to have one of each class on your team. Number one, it promotes variety, right? It prevents. Now there could be a meta like Druid Cryo, I don't know, DK, just for an example. There could be metas that develop that everybody runs anyway. But with that restriction, it just makes the games feel more varied, right? It's not just the same. It's not like DK Druid Cryo, DK Druid Cryo every game, right? So it would potentially prevent that and just offer more diversity in your games, which I think is good. But the bigger issue is that it's just like the most disgusting, low skill, boring ass gameplay in some of these games with the cryo spam. You got the giant, like the arena's already small as it is. You get these giant like 80% slow for 8-year fucking circles of bullshit, and then you're just getting spammed by trees and spammed by lightning. And I don't know, maybe I'm just annoyed because I'm a melee character, but it's like some of the most annoying, like boring shit that I have experienced in this game. Yeah, it's just like, again, imagine having 3 druids on the other team, all with the double tree, shielded tree, quick cooldown tree shit, and now they critical. Trees can crit. And they're just everywhere. Like, yeah, as a DK, when I have my shield out, I can block a tree. But when I imagine having 6 fucking trees slamming you from every direction while getting lightning spammed at the same time, it is the most annoying, boring dog shit and it's just super low skill. It's just spamming all this shit. You don't have to control it. Once you throw those trees down, because the map's so small, they just fucking flop their shit all over the place. They don't have to fucking think about it. They just throw trees down, and then they go into panther form, and then they just bounce around through all these trees, just left clicking, closing their eyes. They don't even have to look. They just left click, and it's kind of fucking goofy. So yeah, I think restricting classes to 1 each per team would help a little bit, but there needs to be some huge looks. The only positive I can see right now out of this bullshit is that this is going to give a very good source of data on class balance. If these developers are, what's the opposite of clueless? If they're clued in enough and actually pay attention and give a shit, this is going to be a huge source of class balance data. Oh yeah, on that topic, life on hit. The experiment is fucking over. Remove it. Clearly you can't balance it properly. Get it the fuck out of the game. With the nerfs that we got to life on hit, it sort of cleared up the lower end meta in adventure mode. It's not as prevalent. But when you get up into Clothos's trial, where everybody is like min-maxing and building the best kits they can, it's fucking broken, and everybody's using it. I refuse because I don't want to use a crutch. But like, the experiment's fucking over. Get it out of the game. It's okay to admit you fucked up and you don't know how to balance the stat properly or the affix properly. Get it the fuck out of the game. Everybody's been saying it from the start. Get it the fuck out of the game. That's it. Just gone. Get it the fuck out. And then you don't have the issue of it fucking up your mana on hit, because they nerf mana on hit because they don't have that shit separate or something, right? I'm pretty sure they said in their nerfing of life on hit that I don't know, whatever it is, that they're likely using the same code, right, for life on hit and mana on hit. If they nerf life on hit, it in turn nerfs mana on hit. Get fucking life on hit out of the game, and then you're back to mana on hit being fine. I guess. I don't know. I haven't really paid attention to mana on hit, but like, I have seen so much life on hit in Clothos's trial. It's ridiculous. Whether it's on a cryo, whether it's on a DK, whether it's on a fighter, whether it's on a fucking sword master with their sword spinning, which, by the way, fucking tangent on that, get that shit out of here with the fucking sword spin going after the person dies. Same with the cryo curse continuing on after they die. Both of those need to get the fuck out. I'm fine with like a Pyro's burn carrying on because it makes sense. You set something on fire, you're not like channeling that, right? Get that shit the fuck out. When I die as a DK, my fucking aura doesn't keep going. That would be fucking stupid. But cryo curse keeps going. Sword master swords keep going. Fucking get it out. Stupid. Anyway, that tangent aside, yeah, remove life on hit. Get it the fuck out of the game. I don't know a single person that doesn't need a crutch that wants that shit in the game. Anybody fighting to keep life on hit in the game is just fucking, they're crutching on it, and they'd be lost without it. It needs to go. Just get it the fuck out. Stop. Just stop. Get it the fuck out. Like, I'm fine with like life leech because it's not as abusable, I don't think, just because it's like a percentage of each hit. But when you have so much shit that does like little ticks at a time, right, that's where it starts to become an issue with life on hit. When you're getting like quick attacks, when that shit was working with like Cryo's aura or Cryo's curse, or, well, it still does, just not as much. But when you're ticking so quickly, from passive shit especially, that's just broken. Just please, for the love of fuck, just remove it. The experiment's over. Get it out. It should have been gone right from the fucking start, but just get it out. Just get it the fuck out. I think that's kind of it. I think that's kind of the main things. Again, you guys saw there, I haven't done a ton of games so far. I've basically done 3 runs. So I don't have like a shit ton of experience, but all of this shit to me, again, as somebody that's played competitive games for quite a while, all of this stuff is very apparent, and to me are pretty big issues right now. I'm sure more shit will pop up as I play, but for now, those are kind of the main ones that stood out for me, and it's kind of put me off of playing the game a little bit. Like I was already kind of getting bored of the normal gameplay, just because it's a big problem with these types of games, both this and Dark and Darker, is there's just nothing, there's no meat there, there's no drive, there's no goal other than the basic ass gameplay loop. The reason Escape from Tarkov is so successful is because it's got more to it than just the gameplay loop. All the quests, there's the hideout shit, there's so much more to it that these games just for some reason fail to capitalize on. Dark and Darker does have quests now, and there's something, I guess, but this game needs something more, to just give people, again, even something as simple as a prestige system. We're not going to get into that. That's, again, I've talked about that before in like other videos on stream. I've talked about that shit a lot, but adding a simple prestige system that might have some rewards would be huge to just give something to aim for, some reason to keep going. Like I'm sitting on 5 million right now and I'm not really trying. And that's like my only goal right now, right? It's like they're just see that number go up, I guess. Like what else do I don't know. So I was hoping with Clothos' trial, having a cool PvP type mode would kind of save me. It's just like, again, I go back to Destiny. I love Destiny's raids and everything. That was the main reason I played it, but the PvP was what kept me going between those missing chunks of content, right? So I was hoping Clothos' trial was going to offer me something like that, but there's just so many issues right now, in my opinion, that need to be looked at. Yeah. So I was already kind of losing the will to play the game just because I didn't have anything to aim for, and I've actually started playing Hunt Showdown again with their new update. And to me right now, that's a little more appealing than playing this. I love this game and I want to see it do well, but we need more communication for starters. I feel like at the beginning, the communication was okay, and then it just kind of tanked. We need more of a roadmap. They did do a roadmap at first, but it was like a 2-week roadmap, and it was pretty weak, if we're completely honest here. Pretty weak. I'll take a quick look at it just to show what I mean. Like, okay, 2 of these are shop things. It's just skins in the shop. 2 of these are some quests you can get done in a day. 2 of these are 1 new skill for 2 classes. And then this was just the purple portal spawn more. And what was the other thing here? Oh, and then Clothos' trial. So not really content. Like, yeah, just we need something more long term. We need to know something is coming. So even if it's like a month, 2 months, whatever out, at least let us know you have ideas. let us know something is churning up there. Let us know something's going on. Give us something to look forward to. Yeah, the communications felt like it's fallen off quite a bit. And I hope they get back to that, because it's 2024. There's no reason not to be in communication with your community more, especially with like these live ongoing games as a service type things, you know. But yeah, we won't get into a rant on that. So yeah, like I said before, I tried to do this video a couple other times, and then I went into like gameplay and I got annoyed. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna make this the sign off point, right? I'm gonna go into Clothos's trial. If it doesn't piss me off, you might find some gameplay after this. But if this is suddenly the end of the video, I'm probably off playing Hunt Showdown. Yeah, we'll see. Again, I appreciate you guys watching these videos. It's been cool to have a lot of new people popping in and chatting and commenting on the videos and stuff like that. So all of that has been great. I appreciate you guys. I want to keep doing videos for this game. I want to keep playing the game, but they're making it hard. They're making it hard for me. But yeah, so I will say I will catch you in the next one right here, and we'll see if this ends the video or not. All right, catch you in the next one, maybe. All right. Oh, wait. Okay, we didn't end yet. One more thing I just thought of as I was clicking this. So when I first thought about this, there wasn't too much issue here. I mean, I got lots of money. I'm fine with spending 30K. People are calling this pay to win now or something. Apparently you can buy this with moonstones if you don't have the money. And the thing is yeah, so when you go into a game or whatever, you can exit out right away. And I think for 0 wins, you still get 15K or something like that. So you get half your money back. So people were saying that if you can buy this with moonstones, you basically have a way to buy in-game money. And it could fuck with the economy. So I haven't done any real testing on economy shit. I'm probably not going to, because that sounds fucking boring. But if any of you have any experience with like the economy and stuff, or thoughts on that stuff, let me know down below. But that was something I heard. I don't know for sure if you can buy this with moonstones or whatever, but that could potentially be an issue. But yeah, I don't know. You guys let me know what you think there. Anyway, this might be the end of the video now, and I'll catch you maybe in the next one.